Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications, because today, we're stepping inside one of the most fascinating and overlooked parts of the White House, the East Wing. A place where power meets purpose, where history whispers through marble halls, and where every doorway tells a story about the nation itself. This isn't just another building, it's the living heartbeat of American democracy. Welcome to today's feature on one of America's most iconic but least visible spaces, the White House East Wing. Located at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C., this wing has quietly served generations of First Ladies, hosted countless events, sheltered a secret bunker, and now stands at the center of a major transformation. In the next 15 minutes we'll explore its origins, its evolving role, and its controversial present-day makeover. Let's begin. The idea of an East Wing begins early in White House history. Although there wasn't a formal East Wing in the very earliest years, the East Side terraces and small service wings evolved through the 19th century. In 1902, during the presidency of Theodore Roosevelt, the first significant East Wing was built, primarily as an entrance for carriages and guests, with cloakrooms and a porte cochere. Then, in 1942 under Franklin D. Roosevelt, the East Wing was expanded with a second floor and an underground bunker, what is now the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, PEOC. Thus the building morphed from a guest entrance structure to a complex multitask space, offices, social events, crisis operations. For decades, the East Wing served several overlapping roles. Visitor entrance and tours, visitors would enter the White House via the East Wing, walk through the East Colonnade, and into the State Floor. Offices for the First Lady, over time, the East Wing became the operational headquarters for the First Lady and her staff. In 1977, under Rosalind Carter, the office of the First Lady formally took space in the East Wing. Social and event space, the wing housed the social office, calligraphy office, correspondence, and more, managing invitations, receptions, and White House gatherings. Crisis and security functions. Beneath the East Wing sits the Presidential Emergency Operations Center, PEOC, a secure bunker constructed as part of the 1942 expansion. In short, if the West Wing is often described as the minder of the presidency, policy and operations, some observers say the East Wing is the heart, the social, human face, and public side of the executive residence. Today the East Wing stands at a pivot point. In 2025, the Donald J. Trump administration announced a major project, a new 90,000 square foot ballroom to be built on or above the East Wing site. People.com. Demolition of the East Wing facade began in October 2025, as crews began tearing down parts of the historic structure to make way for the ballroom. The administration described the project as privately funded and said it would not cost taxpayers. Reuters. However, the project has drawn significant criticism. Preservationists worry about the loss of historic architecture and integrity of the White House complex. Critics argue that the scale and cost, now estimated around $300 million, are excessive and misaligned with public priorities. Some raise questions about oversight, review processes, and whether required historic preservation bodies were fully consulted. The Washington Post. So, the East Wing finds itself in both a physical and symbolic rebuilding, being replaced and reproposed, but also at the center of a debate about heritage, power, and what the White House should represent. What does all this mean? The East Wing's transformation has implications on several levels. Architectural and historic, the wing has been part of over a century of White House evolution, from 1902 entrance to 1942 expansion to now a full rebuild. Preservationists note that changes like this shape how future generations experience the executive residence. Symbolic, as the home of the First Lady's offices and public engagement, the East Wing embodies the less visible but critical side of power, social diplomacy, domestic life, public tours. Altering it significantly raises questions of what is preserved and what is changed. Functional. The new ballroom is meant to address space limitations for major gatherings. The existing East Room could host only 200 guests. The new space is slated for 650 or more. Political and social. The debate over funding, transparency, historic oversight reflects broader tensions in how we treat national monuments when they are still in use and still evolving. Looking ahead, the project is scheduled to be completed well before 2029, yet many details remain unclear, including full funding source disclosures, design approvals, and how much of the original East Wing will be integrated versus rebuilt. For anyone watching American institutional architecture, the East Wing's fate will set a precedent: how much continuity versus change in the home of the president. The East Wing has always been more than bricks and corridors. It represents an ongoing conversation between history and modernity. Each administration that stepped through its halls left subtle marks on its design, its use, and even its emotional identity. When visitors enter through the East Wing, they are not just entering a White House, they are walking into living history. Every marble tile, every photo along the colonnade, whispers stories of state dinners, charity events, and behind-the-scenes moments that shape the nation's social fabric. It's within these walls that First Ladies champion causes, from Lady Bird Johnson's beautification projects, to Michelle Obama's Let's Move initiative, and Dr. Jill Biden's focus on education and military families. These programs didn't just emerge from press rooms, they were born right here, in the offices tucked inside the East Wing. The East Wing stands as a reminder that leadership is not only about power, it's also about grace, empathy, and influence that reaches beyond politics. Every First Lady has redefined the purpose of the East Wing in her own way. Jacqueline Kennedy transformed it into a space of art and restoration, inviting artists and historians to help return the White House to its original elegance. Nancy Reagan used it to host anti-drug campaigns and Hollywood-style events that bridged Washington and celebrity culture. Hillary Clinton expanded its use for women's rights and children's health initiatives. Michelle Obama brought a new kind of authenticity, opening the White House to youth, soldiers, and families from all walks of life. And today, Dr. Jill Biden's team continues to use the East Wing as a hub for education, empathy, and support for military families, showing how the human side of the presidency evolves with time. Each of these women, in their own unique way, transformed the East Wing into a national platform for change, proof that influence doesn't always come from the Oval Office. The demolition and reconstruction of the East Wing in 2025 have reignited an age-old debate: how much should we preserve, and how much should we allow to change? Supporters of the new design argue that the White House must evolve to meet modern needs, bigger state events, international summits, and technology integration. They envision a future where history meets innovation, a place that symbolizes not just the past, but the promise of the next century. But critics fear that modernization risks erasing the soul of a structure that connects Americans to their heritage. For them, tearing down the East Wing feels like rewriting a chapter that belongs to every citizen. In truth, both sides are right in part. History lives only when it's remembered, but it also survives when it adapts. The real question isn't whether the East Wing changes, but whether the meaning it carries remains intact. Behind the controversy lies an ambitious vision. Architects describe the future East Wing as more than a rebuild, a reinvention. Early blueprints reveal expansive glass corridors, an underground gallery displaying historical artifacts, and a rooftop terrace overlooking the National Mall. The new design promises to merge tradition with transparency, literally. Sunlight is planned to flood through energy-efficient skylights, symbolizing openness and accessibility in government. Smart building systems, sustainable materials, and advanced security infrastructure mark a new era for the White House, one where innovation meets preservation. And while critics call it excessive, supporters argue it's the evolution of a living institution. Just as the West Wing expanded for modern governance in the early 1900s, the East Wing now expands to meet the demands of a 21st century presidency. Beyond architecture and politics, the East Wing remains deeply human. It's where staff work long nights organizing receptions, writing letters to citizens, and planning humanitarian initiatives. The hallways echo with laughter from school children on tours, the soft steps of first ladies walking to the gardens, and the quiet pride of workers who ensure every event runs flawlessly. During moments of crisis, from 9/11 to national emergencies, the East Wing's underground spaces became silent witnesses to leadership under pressure. In those moments, the building wasn't about prestige, it was about purpose. So, when we debate whether to preserve or rebuild, we're really asking, how do we honor the people who've given this place its soul? The East Wing story mirrors the story of America itself, imperfect, evolving, but always forward-looking. Over the past century, it has adapted to world wars, social change, and political transformation. Today's debates, while intense, show that people still care about what this space represents. They care because the East Wing belongs to everyone, not just the administration in power, but every American who believes in the continuity of democracy and tradition. When construction cranes rise over its grounds, it's not just steel and glass going up, it's a statement that history is never finished. Each generation leaves its mark, and the East Wing stands as living proof that the White House is not frozen in time but breathing, changing, and alive. The East Wing is more than an extension of the White House, it's a reflection of how the presidency connects to the people. Its corridors have witnessed moments of quiet resilience and unspoken strength. From first ladies shaping social causes to the tireless staff coordinating the nation's daily rhythm, the East Wing has been the heartbeat behind the formality of power. Here, traditions blend with progress. The offices, once lit by candlelight, now glow with digital screens, yet the mission remains unchanged: to serve, to inspire, and to represent the nation's enduring values. In times of celebration, the East Wing opens its doors to the public, welcoming citizens from every walk of life. And in moments of crisis, it becomes a command center of calm, a place where resolve quietly replaces fear. Every renovation, every repainting, every subtle change within its walls tells a story of adaptation, a reminder that America's strength lies in its ability to evolve without losing its identity. The East Wing stands as a bridge between history and possibility, between the echoes of the past and the voices of tomorrow. It's where heritage meets hope, where democracy takes shape not just through leaders, but through the collective spirit of a nation that never stops building its future. Through every administration, the East Wing has remained a quiet witness, steadfast amid change, resilient amid turmoil. It has seen laughter echo through its halls and history unfold in whispered conversations. Generations have passed through its doors, each leaving behind a trace of vision and duty. And though the faces within may change, the spirit of service that defines the East Wing never fades. Through every administration, the East Wing has stood as a silent observer of history, a witness to triumphs and trials alike. Within its corridors, the hum of daily life carries the rhythm of the nation. Staff members move with quiet precision, journalists chase stories that shape public opinion, and advisors walk briskly toward decisions that will ripple across generations. It's here that first ladies have launched initiatives that changed hearts and minds, from education and health to equality and human rights. It's where traditions like public tours and national celebrations remind Americans that the White House, despite its grandeur, belongs to them. And yet, beneath the elegance and ceremony lies something deeper, an enduring resilience. The East Wing has withstood wars, protests, and pandemics, serving as both sanctuary and stage. Each photograph hung on its walls, each restoration made with care, preserves not just beauty, but belief in the continuity of a democracy that endures through those who serve it. The East Wing isn't just part of the White House, it's part of America's heartbeat. A symbol of resilience, history, and hope that continues to inspire every generation. If you found this story powerful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold chapters of history.